So I managed to stuff everything back into the case. I am fairly happy with the way that all turned out. I may do some different type switches here, but we got lights. So what we have here is the internal battery, which is chargeable via USB. And I would like to probably put an output because this can function as a power bank too, so it could charge your cell phone on the road. We have two inputs and two outputs, negative center and a positive center. I do need to mark those off and get that all sorted out. So output jack, input jack, and input USB jack. And I haven't routed an LED out from the actual power switch board that would give a status if it's on or not, but it is working. So what does this really do? Well, it listens to your guitar, and if nothing is playing on the guitar, it protects your 9-volt battery, which is this meter, and I have a dead 9-volt battery in there, and as you can see, it is very dead. It is dropping very quickly. So it was like 6-7 volts, and yeah, it's going down very quickly. So this lets you check the internal or plugged in. So if you plug a 9-volt source into one of these two guys, you can check to make sure that, yeah, you've got 9 volts there proper. Okay, so a little bit of a quick demo here. Normally I'd have a guitar plugged in, but just to test the auto shut-off feature, this auto grounds out the input when nothing's connected. So just make sure it's quite silent. I have a 9-volt supply here, which is connected to the negative positive, the negative center here, and I've got negative connected to the red, which is actually connected to the center. I could have done this either way. Either plug would have worked, but just showing that I have a negative center coming into here. I could swap this and go to the other port. It wouldn't really matter, so you can do either or, and output is the same, so you can have both coming out. Actually, you could have a negative center coming out, and if you had pedals with a positive center, you could also hook that up to this too with another daisy chain. So I have daisy chain coming into this metal zone, and I mean, I could go to another Boss pedal. This one doesn't really light up, so it's not really good for demoing this right now. The Boss has a little bit of a button issue, so it's kind of quirky to turn on. But anyways, if this doesn't hear a guitar input for, in this case, it's less than a minute. I have it on a really short timer. It will shut down the power that goes out to it. So we're going to see here the metal zone draws about, depending when the LED's on, about 17. If the LED's off, 15 milliamps. And this is going to regulate that power. I think the board that's in there can do up to 6 amps, so there is a fair bit of headroom there available if you wanted to use something like this, because this wants 1.3 amps. So as long as you can supply that, then you could do that, and you could do that with a battery input, maybe a separate box or something like that. I didn't put a voltage regulator in here. I suppose you could put a 9-volt battery or a 9-volt regulator and run out to a 12-volt car battery or something and have tons of power. That might be an interesting option for the solar setup out at the shack. Anyways, so we can turn the power on and off here. So it was actually on that whole time. I messed up on the wiring on this meter, so I need to move it over. It's still reading the battery voltage on the inside, not this input voltage. That's just swapping a wire, no big deal there. And we still have over 4 volts on the microcontroller battery. I can turn this, so we have no power there. If I turn the board on, we now have power on the Boss. We are drawing 16, 17 milliamps, and I think this should be resetting. I may have to work on the code a little bit, but I'm just gonna, maybe I can pop that up. So this should automatically shut off in a little bit of time, and we should see the current drop on the meter there. So this is basically no guitar plugged in. You've walked away, and it's going to turn the power off. It should anyway. Just takes a little bit. I have a routine in there that should reset the counter every time that you push the button, and anytime that it's not acting. Yeah, there we go. We've shut the power off. Anytime that it's in this state now, it's just going to continuously sleep. It's not going to try and check the guitar. It knows when it's on. It knows when it's off, and barely takes any power to do so. You're not going to. This is like the rocker switch kind of deal. It is on. The MOSFET latching circuit in here steals a tiny bit of power. Your 9 volts is going to go dead by itself before that MOSFET kind of drains it, kind of thing. It's almost as good as a rocker switch, but if I was to use the voltage regulator or something like that, it would be eating a little more power while it's on, and that's why I'm running the microcontroller off its own internal battery. But that allowed me to do the power bank idea and some other things. So we can push the button, turn things back on again, and boom, power's back on. We're drawing current again. And if I turn that off, just to let you know, the LED is off on the Boss. You're still drawing 15 milliamps. So in the case of Boss pedals, make sure you disconnect, right? Because we just dropped our power. These don't like have a switch. I don't know if that's all of them, but at least the MT2 here has a switch on the input, and we're still providing power out to it. And we can daisy chain, and the way this works is we can daisy chain out to another daisy chain if we wanted, but it depends how many pedals you got. If you got a big pedal board, this would just basically shut off all the pedals on your pedal board without having to unplug everything. Yeah, it always shut the power off automatically again. It detects you playing. So if you're playing, you got an input in there, it's not going to shut off on you. It detects the guitar, and you would pass through this into your pedal chain. So that's how it works. That's what it's for, and a little bit of a demo. I think that's all I'm really going to do on the pedal side of these videos. So this will probably be the last one on this. I may work possibly a little bit in private with Eric on getting the active pickup one going, but thank you all for watching, and take care. I hope you enjoyed.